Lakini kwa sasa nataka nikupeleke hadi katika kikao kinachoendelea bungeni, ambapo Gavana wa Benki Kuu ya Kenya Daktari Kamau Thugge leo anafika mbele ya kamati ya bunge kuhusiana na kushuka kwa thamani ya shilingi ya Kenya dhidi ya sarafu nyingine za kigeni. Kikao hiki kinajiri huku kupanda kwa dola za Marekani kukiendelea kuathiri gharama ya kuendesha biashara na ununuzi wa bidhaa nchini. Hebu tusikize.
Basically is an indication, I think, more confidence in the economy by those foreign investors, and we have continued to engage those foreign investors. So we think that going forward, that the fact that we have removed that uncertainty about what we are going to do about the Eurobond is going to help mobilize foreign exchange coming into the economy. Second, we are expecting larger inflows from our multilateral development partners, and specifically, for example, we have the IMF, which is coming here actually next week, and from them we expect by December, even according to the ongoing program. We have an ongoing program with the IMF, and based on that program, we expect to get at least $400 million. Now, of course, we have engaged with them and told them we need extra funds, so that will be part of the discussion. How much we'll get, I don't know, but that is an issue on the table for further discussions. Similarly, we are talking with the World Bank. We are agreeing on some reforms of 2 to 3 year reforms under the development policy operation, and so therefore we expect we are expecting 750 million. That is public knowledge, to be dispersed by March of next year. Again, we have engaged with them to see whether they can. There's room for additional financing. They have said this discussion we can also put on the table. And then finally, again, we'll be having the 6th review of the IMF in June of next year, and from that we should get another disbursement of roughly 530 million. So over the next few months, we'll be expecting to get quite a significant amount of concessional resources. And I don't want maybe Kenyans to think, oh, this is piling debt on top of debt. This is actually replacing expensive debt with cheaper debt, and especially domestic expensive debt will be replacing with cheaper external financing. On the issue that I just touched on foreign investments, I think that we should again be expecting some portfolio inflows. And then fourth, Chair, is what we have done to deepen the foreign exchange market. Because a deep foreign exchange market also will be able to stabilize the exchange rate. And I won't go into the specifics now. I'll go to them when I make the presentation. But the background was that the interbank market basically was non-functioning last year, and even up to the first quarter of this year. And that's when we began to resuscitate the interbank foreign exchange market. And it has worked. Is it perfect? No, not yet. So when I did join the central bank in towards June, end of June, I did have a meeting with the 10 key banks that deal with foreign exchange, because I want to understand why isn't there more foreign exchange going into the interbank market. And then they said, oh, there's this circular that was done in 2011, or there's another circular that was done in 2050, and then there's this, and this. And I went through, I looked at the circulars, and really I saw no reason why we still needed to have those circulars. And so we repealed those circulars. And then they had also been prohibited from electronic brokerage trading. So again, we didn't see really the reason why we should prohibit banks from electronic trading. So we also agreed that they could do that. And but of course there need to be some training, and they also needed to join the Bloomberg and the other one, the Reuters, which now they have. And we expect by the end of next week, by the end of this month, that we should now see an interbank market, and where the banks are trading electronically. So I think so we have engaged the banks. We have had what they require. We have implemented what they said that they require. So now it's for the banks to deliver on their end of the bargain. Well, of course, we've also had some concerns as a central bank about the spreads. We've looked at the spreads from April to October, and the average spread is roughly like 3.4 shillings. But that's the average. We've seen some banks have spreads that are higher. By spreads, I mean the difference between the interbank rate and the, let's say, the retail rate. So the average is about 3.4. But there are some, obviously it's an average, there are some below that, and there are some that are higher than that. The ones who are higher than that, we have identified them, we have written to them to try for them to explain to us why their rate should be above that average. And so we are receiving those responses, and we will analyze them and see what therefore needs to be done. But it's a concern to us. We are taking actions to find out why those banks are doing what they are doing, and hopefully within the next 2 weeks they'll respond, and then we'll take whatever actions that will be required. And then finally, Chair, I've set up a team now at the central bank just to basically to look at the penalties for breach or non-compliance with banking regulations, because I do feel that we need to strengthen that part of the penalties. I think they have not been reviewed for a long time, and sometimes I get the impression that some banks, the penalties are so low, they are not deterring banks from doing certain things. So that's an area we are reviewing, and I'm hopeful that this committee will be able to help us in that area. So I stop.